From the start, Porsche achieved great success in racing with their 356 platform, but it became apparent that a race-prepared production car did have its limits in the increasingly competitive race circuit. For an outright victory, Porsche needed to build a purpose race car to meet those new demands. Two Porsche 550 coupes were built in 1953, but it is the 550 Spyder, also known as the 1500 RS, an open two-seater version of those two coupes created the same year and totaling 90 units, that would become the most popular of this series. The superb 1953 Porsche 550 Spyder could almost be confused for a toy, with only 41 inch or 1 meter and 5 centimeter in height and 142 inches or 3 meters 60 in length. Designed by Erin Comenda, the characteristic Porsche lines could be seen from the Beetle to the 356, as he helped draw both of these cars. The 550 Spyder was a racing car that could be driven legally on the street. The windshield was low at best, and raised rear fenders, usually painted a different color than the body, were the biggest draw of this tiny tub. The Porsche 550 chassis was an altered ladder-type 356 chassis. The body was all aluminum, and the engine, placed in the mid-rear central position, gave a better balance at the limits than the 356. The engine used was the 4-cam flat-4 356 engine of 1.5 liter or 91 cubic inch, instead of the pushrod type found on the regular 356. With 2 spark plugs per cylinder, it managed to develop 110 horsepower at 6,200 RPM. This doesn't sound electrifying for a race car, but it is fair to say that at 550 kilos or 1,212 pounds, the Porsche 550 is a formidable racer with its 1.5 liter class engine allowing for a top speed of 137 miles per hour or 220 km per hour due to its low profile and flowing body. The 550 Spyder project paid off, and it won that same year at the Nürburgring, Le Mans, and the Carrera Panamericana, whose name would adorn future Porsches for decades to come. The biggest evolution came in 1956 with the Porsche 550A. The Porsche 550A had a very different chassis and utilized tubular space frame technology, making the 550A Spyder even lighter by 44 pounds or 20 kilos, but especially stiffer with its reworked suspensions. The handling got even more telepathic. The power was also improved with the help of 2 Weber carburetors, replacing the 2 Solex, giving now 135 horsepower. All this was mated to a 5-speed gearbox instead of the 4-unit found on the 550 Spyder. Visually, the 550A can be identified from the 550 with its louvered hatch located on the rear right fender, and also by the headrest fin added for maximum speed. In 1957, the 550A grew into the Porsche 718 RSK. This newer version had a front frame in the shape of a K, reflected in a name, and lower and more profiled front headlights and fenders. For 1960, the 17 RSK became the RS60 and the RS61 in 1961, with up to 150 reliable horsepower. These last Spyder evolutions were demanded by race regulations, giving the little Porsche a taller windshield. In total, the 550 Spyder and its evolution line won an impressive 3 times at Le Mans, once at the Targa Florio, twice in Mexico for the Carrera Panamericana, and twice the Italian Mille Miglia in their class, to only name the most prestigious races. But it is the way that this little nimble race car did it that impresses the most, with 550 Spyders chasing bigger boys in the 3-liter class category, like the 3-liter V12 Ferrari GTOs. This Porsche dominance actually caused a real threat to Ferrari and other big contenders running in a higher class than the little bastard, and was dubbed Giant Killer. Today, the most recognizable 550 is the first one introduced from 1953 to 1956. Of course, James Dean's 550 Spyder car accident has something to do with it, but it is also simply because it is the most harmonious shape of all Spyders.